Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Beatson Talks, where I am delighted to be joined by David Wynne. David, how are you?
Very well, thank you very much. Yourself?
I'm good, thank you very much.
Good.
You're rocking your Beatson charity t-shirt, glowing in yellow in front of me.
As I normally do on a Wednesday anyway, yes.
Well, we're going to get on to that. So, first of all, I'm going to call you Davey, because that's what you like to be called.
No problem.
Davey, take me back to a few years ago and how you came to be involved with the Beatson.
Well, probably go back to the start where when we started off with the heart attacks. So I had 3 over a week. Went to hospital, got a stent done.
You were young. What age?
47.
46.
Yeah. 46 then.
Yeah.
Aye, 45, sorry.
Yeah.
45. So, a wee bit of shock. The history was in the family a wee bit. But obviously you get through life thinking you're invincible, you're okay. So start off with that and then got a stent fitted, and then the following Tuesday I had an ultrasound for a scan for down below. So went for ultrasound, but I'd been for a few before, so I knew what the kind of procedure was, but it was taking a bit longer than normal. Girl said to her, we found something, need to go to Queen Elizabeth, and that's where it kind of started from. And went to Queen Elizabeth, had a cracking doctor. Her name was Jess Thompson. It was amazing. So back in, got the scans and that done. Because of the heart stuff, they were quite worried regarding doing an op that early because the bloods are so thin. So she let me go home the Wednesday after the scans. I had a meeting. She phoned on the Thursday, you're coming in. So I got operated on the Friday.
And that was for?
It's testicular cancer, sorry. So got it out. Everything went really well with the op. They were brilliant, to be fair. And you go to the hospital, get a navel, get your bloods checked over the 5 weeks. The levels had all come down the way, which was quite good. The girl phoned the Tuesday, said they've actually had blood count back to kind of normal. We'll be in touch. Or the Beatson will be in touch. Beatson phoned that night, which again was
alarm bells.
A wee bit worrying.
Yeah.
So goes in and meets Dr. Jeff White. Again, amazing guy, brilliant. And kind of decided we would take her around a chemo. And that's what it kind of led to. And then a few more tests, back and forth, and then we went in and got it done. So first week, goes in for the 4 days. It was pretty good, to be fair. It was all right. Obviously, you get in, you hear the words of the Beatson, you get a wee bit of the fear of God up here, a wee tad. So going in the Sunday before, I was going in the Monday, quite apprehensive, didn't really know what you're going in for. You hear kind of horror stories with the chemo and blah, blah, blah.
It's frightening. It's frightening for anyone. Yeah.
So went in, got the chemo, went really well. The staff were amazing, so I was in ward B4. And I think when they helped me with the steroids, they had to tell me to calm down a wee bit, so I didn't know what was happening there. So, but I knew the sister on the ward, Leslie. I knew her from previous, her husband and that. So that kind of settled us a wee bit as well. There was another boy in next to us with us, and he'd already been in for a round, so he kind of gives a wee rundown.
Yeah.
What to expect and what not to expect.
And that is a thing, everyone kind of pulls together, don't they? There's very much camaraderie.
It's like a big family in the ward, to be honest with you, in which I'll go into that further later on. So I gets in that and gets home on the Thursday. Didn't feel too bad with it. A bit up and down, just dead lethargic. Goes in the Tuesday, to 2 Jags, and starts to feel a bit more unwell over the course of the week. End up getting rushed back in. I took a reaction, there was a wee bit of sepsis, I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
So, and that went again, back in again, they were brilliant. They look at it, it's an amazing place, and people maybe don't understand that unless you've been in there. So, gets that out the road, and then, but when I was in, I was asking about how do you become a volunteer. Never crossed my mind that I'd ever do anything like that, to be fair. And got to meet Marlon, who's my boss now. Yes, my gaffer. So got to meet her, and she says, once you get your treatment, come back and see us. And when I was getting back in for my appointments on the Tuesdays for the clinics, I was getting back in and being a pest. I'm not a pest, to be fair, anyway.
Is this because you were inspired by seeing the volunteers there and the staff there?
No, I think what it was when I was in the first week getting the chemo done, I met a lady. There was a lady in the room across the hall, room 5, And I don't think she'd many much family, never really slammed up. So I go in and sit with her and ask her if she wanted anything for the shop or whatever and that. And again, I don't know whether it was your calling. I've got no idea. Even with the heart attack stuff, the doctor said to me, you should be dead. You shouldn't be here. So whether that's changed in my mindset, I've no idea. So I think that's what kind of led to it a wee bit when I was talking to that. But I didn't really know what to expect to being a volunteer.
Yeah.
And so I goes in, does a wee bit of training sort of thing with Marlon and that, and the do's and don'ts of how it goes about it. Then I got a shadow shift. There's a lady that works on the Tuesday, Ellen. She took me around and showed me the do's and don'ts, and then got shoved right into it myself. And since then, it's kind of just grew. It's just a brilliant, brilliant place, to be fair. So I go in every Wednesday. I do 10 to 1, tea and coffees, wee trolley dolly.
Are you the trolley?
I'm a trolley dolly.
You're the most coveted person in there.
In there.
You're the one that everyone wants to see.
Wants to see on a Wednesday. Tell me, where's my papers? Where's this? Where's that? So, but we go in, we do the tea and coffees, we do the cutlery, we just before lunches come, we help, we do the juice and the milk and that out. And then when lunches come, you help the staff put the lunches out and that. So you get your steps up, getting up and down the corridor all the time, you know. So, but again, that's about, I think, must be about 18 months now I've been doing it. And you meet some amazing people. Sad as well.
Yeah.
But it's just the staff. I think the staff make it. When you're in there getting treatment, it's all no doom and gloom. It's never like that at all. They're very upbeat, and they'll do everything they possibly can for you.
Yeah.
One of the ones I remember, one of the girls, the staff, she used to do a night shift mostly when I was in, a wee bit of banter ways, and she would give me a bit of cheek back.
Yeah, I can imagine you've got that cheeky charm.
Just a wee tad. I was supposed to be going to Holland when I was in getting my treatment. I was going to a weekend for a rave.
What? A what?
A rave. Yes, a rave. And I was asking Dr. White, is it okay if I can still go? And he kind of just laughed at me. But again, he didn't realise like infection stuff, all that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd go in and get this done.
And you'd be back out
go
partying.
Friday, aye, more or less. So it never materialised. He kind of looked at me in a strange way. So one of the nurses, when I went back here to start doing the volunteering, I hadn't seen her for a couple of weeks, and then I seen her, and the first thing she done was come over and give her a big cuddle, which I thought was amazing, because the amount of people they see going through the doors, for them to remember you, I think that's kind of in itself, it's brilliant, to be fair.
But the stories touch people, don't they?
Of course
and
they do.
When you're in for a few hours a week, but there must be stories that have stayed with you, like that wee woman who didn't have anybody, which is probably quite common, especially for older patients. But what are some of the stories that have stuck with you? So, unfortunately, there's wee boy Connor, whose son unfortunately passed away yesterday. Oh gosh.
I was quite close with him. So, I'd met him probably just when I started in there. And we got on really well with his family. And we got him. So he came in one day and he said, David, what have I got for Rangers? I said, son, I can't touch that, I'll burn my fingers. And we kind of just had it off. And I said to him, what are you going to do with the top? He said, I'm going to get it auctioned. I said, listen, give me the top and I'll get it framed and that for you. So I took it away and got it framed. I took it back in and got a couple of pictures and that together. And just, whatever the way his cycles worked out, we just kind of, we bumped into each other every 3 weeks, more or less. So he'd finished up maybe last summer, got his op and that, and everything was going well, and then found out he'd come back again. With a vengeance, unfortunately. So I'd met him, I'd been away on holiday, getting some work done myself.
Give me a smile.
When Asher's done, you know, so we'd done that, and then I come back in and the girls are saying, David, somebody been asking for you. I said, who's in? She says, well, Connor's been back in, he's looking for you. So bottoms away on the corridor and swings the door on. I'm like, son, how you doing? And standing there again with the drip in again. So, and his family was like, it's no great news, blah, blah, blah. So he was back in a wee bit again and took quite unwell with sepsis and that. So he was moved up to Forth Valley. So he moved up about 3 weeks ago. So I went and visited him on the Monday, the bank holiday. I was up last Sunday, and then I get a phone call on Friday to say maybe we wouldn't make the weekend over.
Oh, so
I managed to go up and see him on Friday night, which was great. And we walked in, he got a wee smile at him, and it was brilliant.
Yeah.
And so it was sad yesterday hearing that. But again, you're going to go through that, I think.
Yeah.
There's no point in imagining it's going to be any different.
We can't shy away from that.
No, definitely
at the Beatson.
not.
But what you need to do, and what I guess the staff do and the volunteers, is just make the most of the time you're there.
100%.
And I'm sure you brightened his day and by getting the frame and everything. And you've got something back from that as well.
Of course.
His story will stay with you.
I think the thing as well is you can see when people are coming in, it's the same way I was when I came in. You can see the fear of God in their face. Mm-hmm. And you try and... Most of the people you're seeing in are probably the same as me with testicular, which I thought in older men it was quite unpeculiar, but obviously it's not. Mm-hmm. It's in everybody. So when you go in, you'll speak to them and you'll maybe give them a wee bit of what your story was, and I think that breaks the barriers a wee tad.
Yeah.
I think when people understand that you went through the same procedure, maybe not as harsh as them for the many rounds they're getting, but you still had around it breaks the barriers in a wee bit, and you can... I mean, you maybe get back in like an hour's time, you'll say, thanks very much for that. Yeah. You've settled me down a wee bit. Yeah. And if you can make that difference to one person in that day, you've done that difference.
Mm-hmm. Has that been important to you, to give back?
I very much so. Especially my recovery, I stopped drinking and everything. I don't smoke or anything now, and I like to party. So I just...
A rave.
So I'm now clean and sober nearly 2 years now.
Wow.
And I don't regret it. My life's in a much better place for it.
Yeah.
So I think we're giving something back gives you that wee bit of gratitude, a wee bit as well. And I wouldn't change it for the world now, what I do.
Yeah.
If I could do more, I'd do more. But I run a business as well, so it's very hard to find that time. But even as well, when you go in and you maybe see some sad things that are happening that day, when I come out of there, it's back into my work mode again. Because when I come out, I've got maybe 15 or 20 missed calls. So you know, saying you forget about it.
Yeah.
I maybe not look at the patients' names.
Yeah.
I can maybe not try not to be too personal. But the more you see them, it does become more personal, unfortunately. So I think the corner one was a story. There was another girl last year as well, and that, again, it's sad. But there's great stories as well. You'll see people coming in who are really unwell. Yeah. And a couple of weeks later, you see them and they're dancing in the wards. Maybe not as much as that, but you can see they've definitely sparked up a bit. And I think even just the patients, even though you're looking well today, and it kind of gives them a wee smile and just wee things like that. And I think that makes a major difference for them. A
wee bit of distraction and normality. Just some chat that's not about the hospital, that's not about the treatment.
Definitely. I think that's great. As good as see with the room up the stair as well, and the fourth floor, that's very good for that, where they can go out of there. There's no doctors and nurses involved. Yeah, so this is the Wellbeing Centre, the Beatson, and it's an amazing place. It's a brilliant place, to be fair. So relaxing, that there's lots to do, and there's always someone on hand to chat to as well. Very much so. And when I was in that, I went up a few times, and it's a crank view over the side when the weather's decent, to be fair, but sometimes it's not that decent. And they've got all sorts of stuff up there as well, so I think... But maybe sometimes it doesn't get spoken enough, but for the patients to go up there, and even the treatments you get off the girls. Wow. I get a foot massage thing, I'm dead tickly as well. So I wasn't looking forward to it. Within 5 seconds, I was out loving cold, it. Sparkled. So it was really, really good, to be fair. But you try and you speak to the patient about that side of it as well, where try and go up and use it. That's what it's there for, the facility. And it takes you out of the environment of the ward and all the noises and the beeps going all night and that with the machines and that. So I think that's good for it as well. I think if you can, you milk it. You should take everything on offer, shouldn't you? You're 100%. In a horrible situation. You've got to take all you can get. Very much so. And I think that's what the Beatson do for people. Yeah. There are those little glimmers of light. 100%. Yeah. 100%. And as we all know, the sad stories are out there, and the kids and blah, and everybody who gets it. And I don't think you're in that environment, you actually really know what it actually placed is for you. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Again, they're just great. Yeah. And everybody you meet in it. What I find that myself, I kind of like to say hello to everybody going through the corridors, and some people maybe not for talking. Yeah. But most of everybody, I think when you've got a t-shirt on, you've got the lanyard on, people always kind of give you a response. And I think, I'm not saying that's my personality, but I think you go in there, you've got to try and be a bit upbeat for the people who are maybe suffering a wee bit. Yeah. And it maybe does make a difference, or maybe doesn't not.
I think it does.
I've had a few people shouting at me. I'm all right when I'm a big boy, so I can take it. But again, that's just going to be normal.
Yeah.
For whatever procedure.
Well, emotions are running high, aren't they?
Very much so.
But I can tell you, and I've spoken about this quite a lot on the podcast, you can be sitting in that corridor. You know, my experience of it is when you're waiting on your bloods, and it's grim, and sometimes it takes forever. And when that tea and biscuit trolley comes round, it's the greatest thing ever. Like, you must be the most loved person in there, because it's such a simple thing, but it brightens your day and it breaks it up. And what's the most popular chocolate biscuit?
There's not really any chocolate ones on the world.
Is there not?
Digestives.
Some
people again, they'll maybe they can't have one. So I'll maybe just wait till I'm asked.
Yeah.
There's a biscuit, son. All right, there you go. One of them ones, you know, because I can barely remember what they want in their tea or coffee. Sometimes I need to ask again, what was that, coffee or a tea again?
Oh, you need to get down on the one that comes round the blood bit and everything. We get club biscuits and all sorts.
Not as good as that in my world, to be fair, no. They'd be lucky if they get a digestive sometimes for me.
Listen, sometimes a digestive is all you need in a wee chat.
Very much so.
How are you keeping at the moment?
At the moment, very well. Very well. Unfortunately, I had a heart attack in November.
God.
But again, you're doing all the right things and you're thinking, that'll not happen again, but it did. The thing, there was a bit of plaque. Mm-hmm. Again, looked after me brilliant. Got a angiogram done. They couldn't find anything in heart scans, and they says that the heart's in a better condition than it was 2 years ago.
Good.
So that was good. Cancer-wise at the moment, I've got an appointment in June. Everything's been okay at the moment. I see my 2 doctors anyway in the ward every Wednesday mostly. So that's kind of, they'll either chin me for missing an appointment or no, or I chinned them the last time they cancelled me, so I gave her any trouble the last time for it. But no, at the moment, very healthy, feeling great, doing back training that again.
Yeah, well, it's changed your life. I mean, you've taken positives out of what was a pretty horrendous situation, because you're back to doing fitness and stuff. Tell me about changing up everything.
So I think I was going to heart classes. Obviously, once I get the chemo and that finished, I had to see them for the heart stuff, because the cancer stuff kind of took over. Mm-hmm. So we got involved with the heart department, do a lot of physio thing at Garton Naval, and one of the gyms, so the local one to me was Clydebank. So when it started going on the Monday, I went on a Monday and a Wednesday we went, and I think it lasted about 7 or 8 weeks, I can't remember. But it was good to go and see like-minded people as well.
Yeah.
And I think, because I wasn't really sleeping well and all this kind of stuff, and once I started listening to other people in the meetings, we'd have a wee meeting at the tail end of all the exercise stuff, and other people would say this and that give you a kind of wee insight to what was going on with it then. So then you would do gym classes on a Wednesday. But I found I think when I got the cancer up, I seen a guy in a wheelchair, and he had an amputation done his leg, and I said, "How you doing, mate? Where you off to?" "I'm going in for a cigarette," and I think that gave me I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm finished.
Yeah.
I could end up back in that table again in 6 weeks or 6 months' time, and I don't want that.
You want to give yourself the best
give myself
shot.
a chance.
Yeah.
So we kind of went down that road where I started walking, started getting back to the gym and that again, trained quite well all last year. Then obviously in November came about, kind of gave us a wee dunt again, where I kind of thought to myself, what's the point of being good anymore?
Yeah.
I may as well go back on it. And it lasted about an hour. And then so started back again, probably start of January, training again. We're doing, me and my 2 pals are doing the 10k, Glasgow 10k in June.
How are you feeling about it?
All right.
Good.
It's a bit apprehensive. I got a 9k in last week, so it wasn't too bad. So that made me feel a bit better, I think. I've done 5 yesterday, so I've been out mostly every Sunday now. Try to do a run on a Wednesday as well, but I do 2 classes a week, or 2 gym sessions a week, and a Tuesday and a Thursday. So no, I feel really good. My life is so much better now.
Yeah.
It's no 100 mile an hour. Probably still it sounds a bit 100 mile an hour, but it isn't. Don't really bother much. I probably said to you earlier, I was a bit of a control freak at work. Mm-hmm. But I think now, nothing, whatever problems are here today, they'll still be there tomorrow.
You realise there are more important things in life.
So,
yeah.
Very much so, aye.
And you use your skills to help the Beatson by not only volunteering with your sparkling personality, as I can see here, but you also do a bit of DJing.
Yes, I do. Yes.
So tell me what Ravey Davey does at the...
So I started off, used to do it when I was younger. and kind of lost my way. I've still got my 12-inch records. They're in the yard. I'm processing, trying to get a man cave built for. I've got my deck set up in the living room at the moment, so my missus doesn't really like that as much. So, seen a post with Trevor Riley about, I think it was about maybe 4.5 years ago, doing lessons. So went down to Ayr, down to the public domain studios down to Ayr with Mark Sherry and that. Went down there every Tuesday night, I think it was. Learn the CDJs and that, done that stuff. And then started on the production route. So, been doing production now for that's about 3.5, 4 years. For a few, I had a song out last week on Mark Sherry's label, an Outburst, called Become One, and it got to number 14 in the top 100 trance chart.
Amazing.
I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Even for Mark's label, which is Outburst, to take a track for me, I've been trying probably for about maybe 6 months or a year, nothing ever quite good enough for him. And they finally took this one. When I found out he was taking it, I didn't know. I was going a bit mental with it. It was great. It was such a buzz. So I've played at SWG3 twice now for Colours. I've been booked for play at Colours Fest. I've got another one for Blackfriars in September with a boy I know. He runs a thing called Element.
Right.
So I play with a car, World T's Alan Watt, and I can't remember who else is on. And then I've been booked for playing down in England in October.
So you've turned into a superstar DJ.
Well, I'm not quite yet, but
you're on the way.
But again, what I find is good for for my head.
Your mental health. Yeah.
It keeps. I'm not saying an urge to get back drinking again or whatever like that, but it keeps my mind busy.
Yeah.
And it kind of gives you something to focus for.
Yeah.
So I do it for the love of music, to be fair, and it's really good.
And you do it for Off the Beatson Track?
Yes, we do, yes.
As well, so...
When are we again, August?
August,
yes.
End of August.
Hope it's not raining this year.
Last year was horrendous, wasn't it? I mean, it's still great fun.
Of course it was.
It was wet, but no, we're rooting for sun this year.
First year we done it was brilliant.
So good.
Amazing.
For people who haven't done that event, it is really special, isn't
brilliant.
it?
My family done it last year.
Yeah.
They all done the walk. Obviously the weather wasn't great, but they're doing it this year again.
Yeah.
But again, the amount of people that turn out for people is amazing, and some of the things that you see are absolutely brilliant as well.
Just seeing this sea of yellow t-shirts, thousands of people, loads of them share their stories, they all write who they're walking for, and we have brilliant entertainers along the way. Like yourself.
Not bad yourself, to be fair.
Oh, I can put in a turn. But yeah, it's a really special day, isn't it?
It's a brilliant thing to do.
Yeah.
I think even with all the events that they do, I was talking to somebody who was at the Sportsman's Dinner the other year and had a brilliant time as well, saying it was absolutely this world. And but I think the walking one's brilliant. Again, if the weather's good in August, it's just a brilliant day.
Yeah.
Brilliant day. A lot of people stayed, the first year round we done it, a lot of people stayed behind and everybody was up dancing, and it was no bad laugh.
It's a great atmosphere.
Aye, brilliant.
David, tell me, in kind of summarising, what would you say to someone who's been diagnosed with cancer, who faces, like you say, that daunting prospect of having to go to the Beatson, because everyone knows it's the cancer hospital, or whatever cancer hospital it is you're going to. What would you say to them to help them through that? Again,
with me, I think everything happens so quickly. It never gave you really time to breathe. And my doctor just now, Dr. Armstrong, and she said to me, I had an appointment January this year, I think it was. And she said, Dave, I don't think you realise how unwell you really were. And I don't think I did realise how unwell I was. And I think it becomes so fast, there's so many appointments. Again, everybody's in a different way, where it maybe it hurts in a different way, or it's a different part of the body. But one thing that they will do at the beating, they'll do their utmost best to try and make you feel better or make you better. And I think, again, it depends what kind of news you get, whatever way you want to take it. For me, I kind of just says, well, no, that's not going to beat me, I'm just going to go on with it. And I've still got that same kind of attitude at the moment and now, where what I have noticed, but we've been in the wards with the reoccurrence of it coming back for a lot of ladies especially as well. I personally think myself that it's always there now, and I'm alright if it comes back. I'm a big boy. I think, and probably the way I look at it is where I probably say I should be dead at the moment with the heart attacks. And again, I'm alright with that as well. But everybody must take it in a different way, I would say.
Yeah.
But I think we get into the Beatson and getting treatment, and they'll do their utmost to try and help you and get you through it. And the volunteers, the nurses, the doctors, they're all brilliant, to be fair. It's just such a great place.
Yeah.
Where try and take it on board. I'm not saying enjoy it, but kind of the procedure or the process is pretty good. For me, it was anyway.
Lean on people as well.
Lean on people as well. And
yeah.
I would probably say more now where I talk about it more. But previous, I probably wouldn't talk about it as much. But I think it's good to talk about. It's good for the head as well. And maybe not take the Beatson as being so daunting, because it's not like that.
Yeah.
It's not a place like that at all. Once you get through the doors, you can see the way it is in the corridors. Or you'll maybe see some sad things in the corridors as well, but that's just like any hospital you go to, do you know what I mean, suppose. But I think in there, as you say, the yellow t-shirts, people kind of smiling all the time. I think it gives it that kind of different feel to it for the Beatson. And as I say, I think, again, it was different. Do you know what I mean? So that's the way I would look at it.
Yeah.
And again, if it comes back for me, I'll hit it the same way. I'll just attack it the way it should be getting attacked. But hopefully at the points we'll maybe find other things to do with it and help it out.
And there's amazing people like you to help put smiles on people's faces as well, which I know you will do. I'm normally in a Tuesday, so I need to try and get in a Wednesday to see
Wednesday,
you.
you want to see the ward and see
get some of your chat.
The ward's great, to be fair. And what I like to do at the end as well, I like to go back round every room and say cheerio.
Yeah.
I'll see you next week, or maybe I'll see you in your next cycle. All right, son, I'll see you later on, and cheers for talking to me today, and just wee things like that. And the staff always say, David, there's David back here, we'll get the paracetamol now. So that's kind of my font for getting told on a Wednesday. But no, I think that ward, the B4, is just, I've never been in any other wards, so I don't know what the rest of them are like, but for B4, it's just a brilliant place. The staff are amazing, every one of them. And sometimes you maybe look at it, you don't think it's a cancer ward, we're all hee-hawing and laughing in the corridors. Yeah. But that's just the way because they see some bad things as well, and it keeps our spirits up, so
you need that.
If I can do that for 2.5 hours, 3 hours of the day, I suppose you're maybe doing what you're supposed to do in there.
Have you got something that you really want to do? You've obviously changed your life around, you've got a song in the charts, you're doing kind of lots of things. Is there a goal, like something that you really want to achieve?
Just try and stay healthy and kind of maybe not take things for granted as much a wee bit. Because I think you're running through life, you think you're kind of invincible a wee bit. Yeah. And I would probably say for what I was up to, and I think I probably did think I was invincible a wee bit. And I'm glad what happened to me. It's made my business a better life, my family life's a better place, and just even my personal life's a better place. I still go and do everything I used to do. Still go to football, go to away games. I've been to Europe a few times, and the drinking doesn't really bother me now. Family life's just much better. I'm no hungover for 3 or 4 days and not really been there probably. So no, there's no much. No, I wouldn't say there's anything I'd want to more achieve. I think just doing what I'm doing, and if that's making a difference to people who I'm seeing in there, I think that makes your day, to be fair. I think when people say to me, it's really good to talk to you today, son, thanks very much, that's a pat in the back, all you need at it. Yeah. And I would recommend it to anybody who thinks they can give up any of their time to jump in for a few hours or whatever you can do for it. I think it's just good to give something back, to be fair.
I think you're very right. And I look forward to being down at the front, raving with Davey in August. We will see you there, and long may it continue. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it. Cheers.
Thanks.